I've been thinking about death lately. Not my own death, but just the concept of things dying. Maybe it's the constant stress under our increasingly hostile political landscape, or Halloween approaching soon, but it's been something I haven't been able to get out of my head. Unlike in the real world, in games, death is rarely permanent. Now that games have almost fully moved on from lives and game overs, the biggest consequence you'll face is having to go back to your last save. But sometimes you won't be so lucky. Welcome to Space Paranoids. Today we're talking about death. In Final Fantasy VII, Aerith dies. It's probably the most well-known death in gaming, and it's completely unavoidable. Unlike a party member who falls in battle, she can't be brought back. All you can do is sit and watch. Watch and realize that no matter what you do, you can't save her. Not giving you a choice in Aerith's fate seems cruel in the moment. It's taking control away from the player and making a choice that most of them would never want to make. But really, making her death required is the game showing mercy. There's a certain comfort in knowing that her death isn't your fault. It was destined to happen as soon as the game started. But what if it wasn't? What if you were given the chance to save her, but you failed? Wouldn't that make it hurt even more? 5 years ago, I played Fire Emblem Three Houses. It was my first experience with a tactical RPG, and more importantly, the first game I ever played with permadeath. In Fire Emblem, once a character falls in battle, they're gone for good. Because I was so inexperienced with role-playing games, I went through Three Houses dangerously underleveled. I mostly made it through with my expert strategic knowledge, but by the time I reached the final boss, that wasn't going to be enough. Without more power, I wouldn't be able to get my entire party through the battle. My strategy was simple. I would send out my weakest units first and get as much damage done before, inevitably, they died. The characters who I spent hours getting to know, the ones I had trained and battled with, the ones I went out of my way to recruit, became nothing more than pieces on the board. When the fight was over, I only had a few units left. But despite all the death, I was just happy it was over. I was happy I beat the game. But that didn't last very long. Before the credits played, it showed a summary of all the characters I had met throughout the game, including everyone who had died. Every character who lived had a summary of what they went on to do in the rest of their life. But everyone who died, I know that these were just characters in a game, but seeing that they all had a future that was planned for them that they would never get to see broke my heart. In Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, players are given a closer look inside the Kingdom Hearts series' mysterious villain group, the Organization 13. The organization is made up of people who've lost their heart, or more accurately, their soul, called nobodies. These nobodies see themselves as incomplete and want to become human again. They want to steal the hearts of other people to replace their own, and the only way they can do that is with their youngest member, Roxas. Roxas is the only one who can use the Keyblade, a weapon needed to finish their goal of becoming whole again. Roxas, being the nobody of Sora, the main character of the Kingdom Hearts series, is possibly the most important member of the organization. And in case he was unable to complete his goal, they needed backup. So they created Xion. Xion isn't a true nobody. She's an imperfect clone of Sora, created using data gathered from his memories. Because of this, she's one of the few people who the organization believes is below them. She's her own person, with friends and desires, but to the people in charge, she's nothing more than a machine, a living puppet. The only people who treat her like a person are Roxas, and eventually Roxas's friend Axel. After assisting the organization for a while, Xion learns something terrible. Her continued existence means that Sora's healing will never be complete. Her and Roxas, being parts of Sora, have to essentially be absorbed into him, ending their lives. But because of how Xion was created, when she returns to Sora, she won't just die. Everyone who knew her will forget that she even exists. So she has two options. She can rejoin Sora, be forgotten by everyone she loves, and save the world. Or she can go home and spend the rest of her life facing abuse and dehumanization from people who will discard her as soon as her job is complete. But that's not really a choice, is it? She has to be Sora. She has to watch helplessly, knowing that the only people who know her name have to die too. She can't save them. She can't save herself. She has to be Sora. Why does she have to be Sora? Why can't she just be herself? Why do I have to be Sora? I've been thinking about death lately. Not as some abstract thing. I've been thinking about my own. As the world becomes more hostile to anyone who doesn't fit the status quo, and I reflect on my own experiences with harassment, I can't help but worry that it will get worse and that there will be no one to save me. I don't want to die, but I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about Xion. But that's not really how the story ends, is it?
It's all right. You can stop now. It's all right. Xion.
Xion comes back. Even if everyone forgot her, the heart she gained through the love of her friends lived on inside of Sora, carried by Roxas's also resting heart. The love of her friends saved her, and it saved me. As I'm sure you can tell by how much of this video it took up, I have a lot to say about Kingdom Hearts. I am considering doing maybe a sort of second part to this, all about Kingdom Hearts, just sort of building on the themes of the Xion section, and going into detail on more characters. I'd like to talk more about Roxas. I'd like to talk more about Sora. I'd like to talk about Ventus, who originally I wanted to mention, but he's just really not related to Xion at all. I know how I would structure that one, and I am interested to know if anyone would want to watch it. So just, if you would, just comment below. I hope you enjoyed this one. It sort of a tonal shift from, save data bonuses and a review of a racing game. But I don't know, it's just sort of been eating away at me for a while, and I needed to get it out there. It was a lot harder to write. It was fun to write, but it was hard to write. The Xion part, I had to rewrite a lot because originally, there's a little bit of it that is still very personal, but originally it did skew a lot more towards my own personal experiences for a story that I think is better told another time. But yeah, I'm proud of what I wrote. I think this is probably better than the first episode. I don't know if people really do unscripted outros like this, but I like doing it. Again, comment if you think that this is bad. But I think it's fun. I like just talking. Next episode might be Kingdom Hearts. Next episode might be a Final Fantasy Tactics review, if I get that game and I beat it in time. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see.